just amazes me. I mean, you come in here and obviously the precision and the attention to detail of everything that's being assembled here, and the accuracy to which they're doing it, and obviously it's just being tested and tested and tested on every part of the process. And I think that leads us to, you know, what we were talking about earlier, is that you just don't have the returns, do you? You know, the product goes out and it stays out there in use. You're getting what you pay for.
Absolutely.
Spot the difference, or should that be red dot the difference? This is an Aimpoint, however this is not. The dot moves. There is no fixed position, which means a lot of missing the target and missing the point. Aimpoint created the red dot sight for fast reaction shooting, so no matter what angle you see the dot in the optic, it remains on target. To prove there is even more to an Aimpoint than meets the eye, the guys from the Swedish company have invited 2 special guests to have a peek behind the scenes at the production line. Roy and Andy have both been to the headquarters before, but never in here, and not since the new development and expansion. This is rare for anyone outside the Aimpoint inner circle, especially with a camera. There is still a lot of the process that must remain a mystery, Aimpoint's orders, but we can see the gluing. Yes, there's gluing, but not just any glue. This is more super than super glue.
So obviously we've just been going through the process of gluing the lenses in, and I didn't realise how critical it was to make sure that they're in there securely. I mean, obviously from a shooting aspect, you want to make sure that your product is well made. I just couldn't believe the G's that we were talking about. You've obviously got to make them for a standard, so you're making them for up to a military standard, and then for sports shooting, for hunting, we're using exactly the same product. So we're using exactly the same sight, made to the same standard.
Yeah, the hunting and military products are made to a certain extent very much the same way. And some of the components differentiate a little bit in them.
So when it comes to something like, you know, fixing the lenses in, that's done in exactly the same process. And what were you saying with the G's there? Because I just couldn't believe the figures you were talking about.
For the Acro, we tested it with the caliber 40.
Right.
And the G's are 7,400.
And then that's down to what in a hunting rifle? So an average?
About 1,000. 9.3 is about 1,000 Gs.
Wow.
So it's a big difference.
No, that's it. You just don't realise the forces that are actually, you know, put through the scopes. You know, put through the sights like that. It's just crazy.
There's a lot of pressure on the glue.
No, that's
and other components as well. But so it's quite hefty Gs.
Now, Andy and Roy may look great in hairnets and overalls, but we couldn't bring them all this way without some hunting. Once we are done here, we'll be heading north to a golf course near Gothenburg, where we'll be shooting driven roe deer with shotguns. Does that sound like we've been sniffing the super glue? It's true, and all will soon become clear. There's even a Swedish chef.
30 years.
That's 30 years old?
Yeah. Wow. It's still working, and it's doing the work, and good luck today.
We see that, it's in the back.
It's in the back.
Right, back to the factory, and the workforce are well looked after. When they are not in the gym, they are trained to operate multiple workstations to improve productivity and general well-being.
Now, people may not realise, but you actually came to the academy a few years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I come back about 3 years ago. Me and Dom come out here and had a few days out here and had a great time. They really looked after us. And we had a brief look round then, but since we was out here, wow, they've really changed it. It's a new building, and it's just unbelievable. They really do think of their staff as well. They got 3 rotors here, and they're tested. Everything is tested, and every little bit they do, like every station, every person's got their own barcode. They do it so that if they get a problem, they know where that problem is and where it's come from. So it's been an eye-opener for me. I thought it was just a case of sticking a few bits together, job done, but farming-wise, but no,
it's cleaner than your farm even.
It is cleaner on my farm.
They can assemble multiple models at the same time. The new Acro, the Micro H2, all alongside military sights. If it's good enough for the military, it's good enough for these two.
Why don't you mechanise?
Because you can't make the same quality with if you mechanize everything. We do a handmade sight, so it will be higher quality. So that's what Aimpoint stands for. Now we have a Micro H2. We want to see if they are holding for is waterproof and everything is been right.
Or you're making sure that everything is sealed and it's still got a vacuum within the site.
So we put it here and make sure that it will be holding for 30 minutes.
Okay.
They have to hold the same pressure for 30 minutes.
Okay.
If this one, for example, is not holding, it's under zero.
Right.
Something wrong with it.
Yeah.
If you want to test it, we take it to the water bath.
Right. Okay.
And put the pressure inside and see what the bubbles coming out.
Okay.
So we can see where
yeah. So every single site that comes out of the factory goes through this stringent testing. Okay.
Aimpoint started producing sights in the mid-1970s, and now hunters, target shooters, police and military use about 3 million of their sights. That's a lot of units. So you'd imagine the service department may be run off their feet. Not a bit of it. The staff responsible for spares and repairs only work part-time.
We have our laboratory that sites go through shock tests, temperature shock, prop tests, etc. So we have all the equipment to test it full out.
Are you just taking one out of the batch and testing each through, or is it just a general standard that?
It's a batch from each month, from each model.
Right. So every site that you sell, if there is an issue with it or a problem with it, and it needs repairing or putting right, then it comes back through here.
Yeah, the service will be done here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we can see, there's not really a lot going on in here, is there?
No, no.
And if you do have an issue with the site, what would it be? Just the switch going something, or?
Yeah, it could be a switch broken, incorrect handling,
Right.
not tighten a battery cap, etc. A lot can happen during 25, 30 years old. Just replace the switch and good to go again.
And if there is an issue, obviously it's not, this department's not under strain, so it would be a very quick turnaround anyway if anything did have to come back.
Yeah, a couple of days.
Yeah.
Sometimes even the same day.
We are cleaned, assembled, and now it is the final stage.
So Daniel, this is sort of the end of the journey, really, isn't it?
This is the end of the journey. This is where the site ends up, either a hunting site or a military site. It ends up on a pistol or a black gun or a shotgun or a rifle. It's put in a box. The box is put in a bigger box. And then it's off to the shipping department and sent off to the world.
With the tour over, the guys find themselves in the VR room. It doesn't seem to matter who comes to the Aimpoint factory, they all end up here, and with good reason. Tomorrow we head north to experience a truly traditional Swedish hunt. In the meantime, for more about Aimpoint, visit aimpoint.com.